Hello, Westerville North families. We usually have open house this week, but this year we are deciding to do it digitally. So I wanted to share a few things with you and make sure that you knew kind of what was going on in your students' honors chem or chemistry classroom with Mrs. Bay. I'm Mrs. Bay. I've been in education for 15 years. The last 12 years I've taught here at North, and I've only taught chemistry the entire time that I've been here. So this is my passion. I love it. While I probably would have never believed you if you told me I would have to be doing it digitally, here we are, and we're going to make the best of it. Another thing about me is I am married and I have two kids. I have a 3-year-old daughter named Evelyn and a 1-year-old son named Leo. So I usually come into work because they don't afford me that luxury when I'm at home. So I just wanted to go through a few things here in Schoology. I'm going to try to keep every week's schedule exactly the same. I'm an ultra planner. I like everything color coordinated and planned out. So hopefully this can translate to some success for the kids. So as you can see, I will have the units schedule posted in Schoology that they can see. There will always be a packet of materials, whether or not they get dropped off or they need to be printed. The packet of materials will always be right here if they need. And so these will be the handouts the students will go along with. We are going to have some material pickups later. I don't know if we'll be allowed to put out paper materials. We were not the first time, but we'll see. And maybe as we go along, we'll be able to get some packets for pickup. Then each week will have its own folder. The rest of the stuff down here is not published. This is what we're going to be doing in the future. But just so you know what your students should be doing every day in chemistry, when they go into a week, they will have a folder for each day. And then in that week also should be the week's schedule. So this was this past week, the first week of school. Mondays and Tuesdays, they are always going to have lecture videos that can be done asynchronously. So on Monday, when they click into Monday, the worksheets that go along with that will be there. There will be the video. And to know whether or not they have done the video, they will answer 3 questions underneath the video every day. And they should be easy questions. If they watched the notes and they took notes, they should be able to answer the 3 questions. It should be an easy way to get some points for the week. The other thing you will see is that I always give out answer keys. I think it is even more important now that we are remote, that students can get some immediate feedback when I cannot be there. So there are answer keys now. Even when we're in school, I do give out answer keys. I usually don't give them to the notes, but there are a lot of times when we're here live, I would give out answer keys. Again, the immediate feedback, if I'm across the room helping somebody, I don't want somebody else to have to wait 5 minutes to see whether or not they got an answer right. So I always have answer keys out and around the room. The problem with that can be that some students have a hard time learning the best way to use answer keys. Answer keys are not to just look at and be like, oh, yeah, I understand this. But it should be a check for immediate feedback. And then it's also really good to use to help ask pointed questions to me. For instance, on number 3, why did you double the moles instead of, divide them in half? So it should be a way that we can communicate a little bit easier. And we should try to avoid just copying the key or anything like that. With that said, if there is a worksheet that has a key, it will not be taken for points. I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. And I know that if I gave students a worksheet with a fully worked out answer key, they'd be like, silly Mrs. Bay, and they would just copy down the answers and give it back to me. So any worksheets that have keys are not due, but there will be a lot of opportunity to get points. Like every Monday and Tuesday, they can get 6 points for doing the note lecture questions. So that's Monday and Tuesday. They will have videos and they'll have to answer the 3 questions. Wednesday, every Wednesday, we will have live class with their assigned class period. I do it through Google Meets. And usually when you go in, it would have the Google link and it would have my code that you would put in. If a student misses, however, I do record it and I will post, like this is last Wednesday's, so the link isn't there. I have a recording of what we did that day. Okay. So Monday and Tuesday's labs or notes. Wednesday is a live class where we review everything that we learned on Monday and Tuesday. Thursday is always going to have a lab demonstration, something like that. And then the other important thing on Thursday, I have office hours, where if students don't want to hang around in class and ask questions, or if they have another question that pops up, I'll be available just hanging around all day on Thursday. It's a little bit better if their student writes me an email telling me that they're going to come, because I might be recording lectures for the next week or running around making chemicals or something like that. So, but here's the Google Meet. And whenever a student needs to get into class or to see me, it's for the first quarter, it's going to be Bay Chem 1. Okay, that's live for 90 days. So I'll probably change it to the quarter, and quarter 2 will be Bay Chem 2. The other thing that students are going to do on Thursdays is students are going to answer one question to get 10 participation points for the week. What you will see here is that they will answer how they got their participation points. If they came to class on Wednesday, they'll enter an A. If they came to office hours, they'll answer it with B. And I won't really prefer that students just email me, because the idea of the participation points is that students will get face-to-face contact at least once a week. Okay? So they need to answer that question every Thursday. And then once that happens, it will open up every Friday will be a quiz. Okay. And the quiz will be over everything that we've done during the lecture. It will also be over the lab that is on Thursday. So I know that seems overwhelming. I'm sure that every single person is giving you a different set of classroom daily tasks. If any of this stuff is confusing to you or you want to go through it, if you go into the red folder at the very, very top of your students page, there's a couple of videos of me going over this information. There is my syllabus. If you would like some more information about the syllabus or about the class, it talks about the weekly schedule. If your students are going to miss Wednesday class, they need to make arrangements with me, preferably beforehand, so that we can figure out what time they're going to meet me on Thursday. Everything's in Schoology. For the honors, I do suggest having a spiral. They are going to have to write down some notes after the first unit. The first unit has a lot of guided notes because it's like equipment and safety rules and stuff, but then that will eventually get into that. They do need a calculator at the honors and the regular level, but it doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be scientific, not at this level. And so kind of just some stuff on the syllabus. The only other thing that you might want to make sure you see here, this is the schedule that we just talked about. Mondays and Tuesdays are lectures days in chemistry, where they'll have videos, and they have 3-question lecture questions after that. Every Wednesday, we're going to meet synchronously, and that'll be worth 10 points. If they can't come on Wednesday, they should have arranged to meet on Thursdays, which are my office hours, and we'll post a lab. And then every Friday, they will have a quiz. There will be between 10 and 20 questions. Will be between 20 and 30 points. Okay. So this is on the homepage, or if you would like, I can email this out. But I know that I'm sure everybody has like a colorful calendar trying to keep everything together. The other thing, we are on the regular bell schedule that was put out for this year. It's a little short. We end at 1:25, but your students should be reporting on Wednesdays during their class period. And then this is my schedule. I teach Honors Chem first, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I do teach regular chemistry third period. So if you need to reach out to me, or if a student is going to miss a class in the morning because they have a doctor's appointment and then want to come in the afternoon, they can just reach out to me and we can make accommodations. Okay. So I think that that's everything that I wanted to go over for my open house. I'm going to try to keep the schedule the same as possible throughout the entire first semester. But you will see, for instance, like in October. We don't have school on the 16th, so I'm going to try to put the test on the 15th, and all of this is written in pencil because who knows how this is all going to go. And then like in November for the Unit 3 test, we don't necessarily have enough content to stretch it to that Friday, so we might have a test in the middle of the week. But I think once we kind of get going, hopefully, if we keep the schedule the same every week and get in a good rhythm, then we might be able to make a few adjustments here and there. So, all right. Please let me know if you ever have any questions. My email, I think I'm going to email this to you, so you can just respond to this email, or it's bayj at wcsoh.org. Or I think you can reach out to me through Schoology as well. So I'm excited to teach your students a little bit of chemistry this year, albeit not the way that I thought we were going to do this, but we'll make a great time out of it. All right, well, I can't leave you guys without a demonstration of fire here in chemistry. So usually I tell my parents, if your students start asking for weird things, don't give it to them. For instance, like a water jug and some isopropyl alcohol. I didn't tell your students that it was isopropyl alcohol. No need for them to know that. But what I want to do is do a little experiment for you guys here, kind of to wrap up this open house. So I have this plastic jug, and then we are going to put some flammable liquids in here. We're going to just pour maybe a little more. That looks good. I'm going to cap this, and then I'm going to remove the excess flammable liquid far away. And so, like I told your students, the interesting thing about flammable liquids is it's not the liquid that is flammable, it's actually the vapors. So what I did is I spun this around and around and around, and I'm sure you're thinking back to your old chemistry class and you're like, oh, kinetics, increasing the surface area increases the rate of evaporation, therefore getting more and more vapors inside here that are nice and flammable. I did cap it, so everything that is evaporating in there is staying inside. All right, so I need to do this for about 60 more seconds, so I'm going to do that. All right, now I'm going to turn off the lights because fire looks better in the dark. All right, so here we are with our water cooler of flammable vapors, and we are going to light these on fire. I look forward to working with you guys to make sure that your student has a successful year in chemistry.